Hello everyone. You are going to be seeing this phrase appear across the field repeatedly in the months and years ahead. Embedded Incarnational mission talks about living our lives in our communities, loving our communities, and revealing Christ to the people around us in a way that embraces them and speaks to their deepest need. We are confident that this phrase captures our journey and our story. We very much want the focus of all of our churches to move towards the idea of the stories of loving people that we meet. We want to be less concerned with a focus upon the result of that love and much more upon simply the narratives surrounding what it means to love people. We are absolutely confident that the love and grace of God accepts people, embraces people, and transforms people, and that is the building of the kingdom of God. Our responsibility is in that part of acceptance and embrace, and God, as he journeys with us in that, brings transformation through the very quality of love itself. This idea is really represented by the decisions of a couple of couples that I want to introduce you to right now. This is the Stouts. They are not unfamiliar with this part of the world. Andrew and Jenna lived in Hamilton, New Zealand a number of years ago for a while as Jenna was finishing up her master's degree. And they've been missionaries in Sri Lanka for a few years. The COVID situation meant that they had to be withdrawn from Sri Lanka. And as that happened, they started a conversation with Jaron and Elizabeth. And in that conversation and hearing the process that we are going through, they felt their hearts confirming something that they had felt a long time, that God was calling them back to this part of the world, to be a part of our narrative, a part of our story. They're going to move to Hamilton, and working with the church, they will seek to live in the community and understand how best to just love people in that city. And as they do so, they will begin to share their story of what that looks like. But more than that, Andrew and Jenna are going to be contacting all of our churches across the field and continually listening, seeking out those stories of this is how we loved these people. And then they'll find as many ways as they possibly can to share those stories with all of us, so that our conversations in our churches surround or center in this idea of what it means just to love people. And I'm very, very excited about that. Let me introduce you to Stuart and Deanne Turley. Stuart and Deanne have been struggling for some time with a call to move from the location in the US they've been for many, many years out into the world and give expression to what God has done in their lives across many years. But as we began to talk, God began to say to them, would you be willing to move to Brisbane, Australia, and be a part of the story there? So Deanne and Stuart are moving to Brisbane when it will be possible, and they will position themselves in a church and simply do that same thing. Get to know people in their community, get to love people in community, and build this story of love and grace. Neither of these wonderful couples are coming to this part of the world saying we have the answers. They are saying we want to be a part of this exciting storytelling that is ahead of us. To help us get our minds around that, don't forget that on the 4th of December, midday Brisbane times, and on the screen you'll see the times in the other time zones. Dr. Tom Ord will be speaking to us about this very issue and highlighting the reality that journeying with God and loving people is the mission that we are called to. Our future is not set in cement, but God is unfolding our futures for us. As he journeys with us, he invites us to represent what it means to love God, embrace God, and allow God to transform our lives. And it is in our relationships with him and with each other that that story is best reflected. Of course, don't forget our district assemblies coming up. Those details will come out continuously, and again we'll be featuring that story. February the 19th, Holiness and Reality. I want to look at what it means to live out a transformed life, but mostly focus on what it means to actually be transformed. It is with sadness that I declare what I strongly hinted at in the last video, that we are cancelling our field conference / retreat that was to be held in Hamilton next June. While things are beginning to open up, there just is not enough time to be certain of what we can do, how we can travel, and get ready for that event. So we will postpone it. The following year is actually General Assembly, so we may not be able to move into 23. But look out for all of the news coming in 2024. We will celebrate this unfolding of this narrative. Thanks for spending time with me today. Look forward to our future. Talk to you soon.